Okay folks, we're getting started on window track, and so far what we've run into, these are the brackets that need to come off. This needs to be drilled and they need to be riveted on. The problem is the rivet would have to go in from this side, and of course it won't fit in to rivet it. So we've got to figure out a way of doing it to where the rivet heads are not sticking up. So we may drill it and screw it, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to drill these out and we're going to figure out what we're going to do. You know, I would tack weld them on, but I don't want to burn up the material inside of it. We may still do that, but just keep some water and just tack it and cool it. Maybe best, I don't know. Alright, we'll figure it out. Okay, because of these being recessed, as you can see they're bumped out. These wouldn't have been. I didn't want it to catch the window, so we ended up welding it on. Just kept it wet. Now I did drill the holes first, but I didn't like it. So anyway, it'll work. We'll get it together, and we just kept water on it, kept it cool, so it wouldn't get our foam or whatever this, yeah, the whiskers inside, whatever they are. We're going to get this back on, so this part's done. Okay, so here's our old piece for the other track. And there's our new piece. We're going to try to bend it in. And I think them clips maybe go at the end of there. Or one of them does on each side. We'll figure all that out. Now these are definitely longer. The other pieces was the right length, but these are longer, so we'll see what we can figure out on that. All right. Okay, now we're putting this first piece back in, and it is adjustable forward and back. Holes line up? Mm-hmm. Good. That's the way it's supposed to work. And you can see the new piece in there. So now we're going to try to get the other piece in. Okay, now this track's in there good. It's adjustable, so we'll leave it loose until we need to do what we need to do. The other one, of course, goes down through here and then all the way up and around. The clip goes on the bottom side, but I'm not sure of the exact length. So we're going to try to get it in the clip up top, which is right here. And I think I've got new clips, so we may change the clip out, but put it in here and then bring it all the way around, and then figure out what length we need to cut it off. Alright, now here's what I like to use, which is it's a black silicone adhesive sealant. So this is basically the same thing they use on windshields. Get this glass out. The rubber is wanting to stay with the glass, and that's not what we want. Well, if the rubber gets too bad, we'll just fill it full of sealer. We're going to get all the glass cleaned out of it. I've seen them actually make a entire sort of a gasket using that stuff in the back windows on a station wagon. So the fun part's going to be getting this out. You want to make sure you got all the glass out of it too. You don't want anything in there that's going to help break your new glass. Let's get this cleaned up and then we'll go get the glass and start trying to get it in there. Okay, we've got this piece of track in all the way down, and we've actually got it, the sealer in behind it to glue it, and it actually was glued in originally. I cleaned off everything that was blood. We've got a piece in here to hold the corner, and we're holding it here. And there's a new clip up there that holds it, and then I clip the other end, but it's in all the way. So now we're gonna let this sit, and we're letting the window dry where we got it in the track, and once that does, we can slide the window down in, go from there. Okay, we're letting everything else dry, and we've got our little clips in, alligator clips, and there's 8 of them, and then this lays in with the chrome facing up, and then you have to bend them clips in to hold it, and that is the cat whiskers to keep the window from rattling. Okay folks, these went in really well. I like the way they work. Just go in, bend them over. So that one is perfect, ready to go. Working on the others. This end is held in a different, this side is held in a different way. They actually have what looks like staples through it. So I bent all the staples straight and then pulled it out. As you can see, there's the staple. So I guess what I got to do is either line this up, the new one, and where I want it, and drill holes, or lay this one on the new one and try to duplicate these holes and go through the same ones, which may be kind of tough. So we may do it the other way and then go with newer staples, regular staples, put them in and bend them over. But we just need to make sure we sink them in as deep as we can get them. Anyway, it's going to work out either way. So, just mounts a little different. Okay, we got Noah tearing apart the Hummer. Gotta change the upper lower ball joints, axle, tie rod in, and the entire steering knuckle is what they're calling it. So, taking the caliper off now. Got all the parts ordered. They should be here this coming week. Okay folks, following day we had to let that adhesive dry up. So we've got the window in, and I just finished up putting the anti-rattle or the cat whiskers on the varnish molding that goes around the door. Now I know I talked about doing the wood graining on this. I'll just tape it off. It's not a big issue. As long as you're careful when you tape, you know, it won't be a problem. But I wanted to go ahead and get this on to see if it can solve a little problem that we've got. I don't know if this is what's supposed to or not, but what I've done was I just drilled new holes and put staples in and put them through, bent them from the inside, and got them to where they, you know, was well below the level here so they wouldn't scratch the window or anything. And that's basically what they had done. Here's what I used, and here's what they had. Now theirs was probably a little better staple, but that's the way it goes. But anyway, we're going to see if we can get this on, and I'll show you what my problem is. Okay, as you can see, the window's in, fitting up in good. Everything looks fine. I have no problem with it, with anything to this point, except for, okay, this piece here is adjustable, and there's an extra piece of felt on the inside of it. Now when you roll down, as you can see, this bent out part right here gets in with that felt, which is fine. So she rolls down fine. When you start coming back up, when this piece gets past this felt, and this is supposed to be bent, I did check that, but when that gets past the felt, right about here, the window gets floppy, and then it don't want to go in to the track where it's supposed to. You got to push it in just a little bit. So I'm hoping that will help it out. We're going to see if it will or not when we put the varnish molding on around the door, and see if that solves our problem. I still got a little bit of cleanup here to do on that glue, that adhesive. It's not a problem. But all right, let's get at it. Okay, I think that solved our problem. Everything else is pretty good. We're rolling up and down fine. Now you hear a clicking in here, and that's the spring. We noticed that when we was working on. Click. And I was hoping it would quit doing that, but it's still doing it, but I think it'll be okay. Alright, looks a little better with the window, even if they're dirty. It'll be cleaned up. I'm glad of that. Now we just need to trim around the door itself, the weather strip that goes around it, so we don't leak nowhere in it. And we'll probably do some of the black around here to seal that. I had used some here. I hadn't cleaned it up and cut it or anything because this was like an inch short time I got done. But I mean, that black works really well. But everything turned out good. It's surprising, but we got a little lucky. Everything lines up right. Window shuts good. Wing glass fits in where it's supposed to. So, all right. I thought this was kind of funny. I ordered some parts for the Studebaker out of Florida, and some headlight bezels and parking lot lenses and stuff for the 51. Get this camera straight where I can hold it here. Anyway, left Gulf Breeze, Florida. Went to Pensacola, Florida. And now, mind you, I'm directly north of where this is at in North Carolina. But then it went from Florida to Sacramento, California, and then back to Fayetteville. So, I guess an extra, what, 5,000 miles to get to my place. I think I done the same thing one time when the wife sent me to the store. Okay, folks, I guess it's time to start designing and making the door cards for the door panels. Not sure yet what we're going to do on the armrest yet. We've got a screw that's broke off right here we've got to get out, but we'll get it up close to the welder to where we can weld a nut on there and get that out of there so we can get the armrest back on. I'm going to have to cover them with something. It's pretty much almost a well, rectangle, not square, but shouldn't be hard to cut out. I think I'll cut it just a little bit oversized and then maybe put my holes in, fit it up, and mark on the outside of the door and get it cut out exact. And then we've got to figure out what we're going to do. I want to do some kind of a different design on it. I even thought about an aluminum insert that was that I put some lines in with the bead roller, but I think with the interior like it is, it looks more not necessarily original, but not so custom that I'm going to do that. I think I might just do a decent insert of some sort. Now, most of them I've seen is just completely plain. There's a chrome strip that goes down, and then at the bottom there's just a different color. And it leaves a big, tall piece right here that's just plain, and I just don't like it. So I think I would rather do it a little different. And I don't know if I've got all my clips to hold the door on. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. If I'm going to just put some trim screws in it to hold it on, I may do that, and not worry too much about it. It's always nicer when you got an original door card to go by, but with this being as rough as it is, we just don't have it. So I don't know. You know, I was thinking of something custom, but I don't want to go too custom. I don't know. You know, it's one of them deals where you're just not quite sure what to do. We did get the heater out. I've got some wiring to tie up there, and I've got all the holes taped on the outside with that foil tape, so we don't get no air in. And I noticed we've got some thin rust holes. Must have got some water in the bottom side of the dash here, and we may have to make sure there's no leaks around the windshield. And if you're wondering what I'm dealing with, here is the passenger side door panel that came off. So we'll probably reuse that piece of trim. And then, you know, like I said, I just don't like this big open area. I might could just go up and put maybe some at the bottom. And I don't know if I've got enough sew foam to actually do what I want to do, but we'll see. All right. Okay, folks, playing around with door panel designs here. I think, this one here, I angled that up And with that being a straight piece of chrome running across there, I don't think that's going to look good. And then I tried it long ways, and that would look good on a 60s model car, I think. You know, like the El Camino or something like that. But I decided that I'm just going to do just a straight panel, pleated. This will be the light material, and this will be the regular dark material. And I'll bring this up a little ways. I don't want to make it really short. So we'll see how that works out, and sew all this up, put the foam behind it, and we'll see if we can get it together. Okay, so we got our material glued to our sew foam, and I marked the pleats out. We'll go ahead and sew them up. I'm doing this 48 inches long, although we only need 45, but I don't know how much it's going to shrink from sewing. You know, when you sew it, pulls them together some. So a lot of sewing to do. Let me get at it. Okay folks, here's our basic door panel. I went ahead and put piping in. There's a regular color, and then I went 10 inches on this, and I hope it don't, I think it'll be fine, because if we're not going to go up another 10 inches maybe and put our chrome strip in, so I think it's going to come out okay. But I'm going to work on the door card a little bit now, so, and then we'll see if we can get this on there. All right. Okay folks, fitting the door card. We've about got it where we want it. We got to trim the corners. We'll get the holes for the door handle and the window regulator. And I think our overhang is about like we want it. By the time we get the material around it, it'll be a little closer. So I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and we got to come up with our holes for our armrest. And once we do that, we'll trace this over to another one. That way we can do the driver's door without having to remeasure this stuff, because this is kind of aggravating. So anyway, let me get at it and see if we can get this thing covered. Okay folks, after thinking about this a little bit, this is going to be kind of hard to wrap around underneath the door, or the door panel. I mean, I can do it, but a little thick, so I think it would look a little better if I do another piping, put here, and then add another piece of brown below it. And just let there be a thin strip of brown, and this will move this whole thing up a little bit. That goes right back to my keeping this thing from looking like a, you know, all the same color in a big swat there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add just a little bit to the bottom of it, and then we'll put the piping in, and then we'll start seeing if we can get this over the door card. All right. Okay folks, I think it might make it look a little bit better. We'll see how it turns out, but you know, sometimes you spend the extra time and trouble to make yourself happy anyway. I'll feel a whole lot better about it. All right. Okay, so we got it on the door card. We still got to cut our holes out for our handles and the two holes for our armrest. We've got this trim we're going to put on, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but I stopped the foam right here, and that's where the trim's going to go right above it. And that way I can tuck it up under the garnish molding up here without having it, you know, a bunch of foam in there. So I'm going to try to get this on. Hopefully I can drill the holes in it without tearing up the fabric. And we'll go from there. Alright, we got the strip on. We're going to see if we can get it on the car. I've got to get that broken bolt out first for the armrest, and then we'll see if we can get her together. Alright folks, door panel's on. That's about all I'm going to get done in this video, but I've still got to make, I'm going to turn out some pieces to go around here. Oh, on the lathe, because this is all we had left of what was there. As you can see, these are plastic, but there's just not much left of them. So, and I could probably buy something, and then we'll also probably paint this or something. I don't know. That's the color that it was. It's in good shape, but I just don't know what'll hold on it good. It's like a hard molded plastic or something over it. So anyway, door panel's about done. I've still got more to do on the other one, but I think I'm gonna call it a day. We may end up going fishing before the day's up, who knows. All right, appreciate everybody watching. Until next time, bye.